The African Union Summit is going to be held in the capital Addis Ababa with the theme Justice for Africans and People of African Descent Through Reparations. The pre-summit symposium held in Addis Ababa deliberated over how the upcoming meeting would be effectively conducted. The symposium specially accentuated on taking collective action to address historical injustices. The presiding officer of the African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council reiterated that institutions should move forward in addressing historical injustices to the extent of effectuating reparation. He reaffirmed that the African Union is committed to creating strategic pathways acknowledging the cultural heritage crisis.
As an advisory organ, the African Union ECOSOC stands at the forefront of this mission, always ensuring that the voices of African CSOs, NGOs, professional groups, our activists, intellectuals, entrepreneurs, and cultural custodians are at the heart of shaping policies, advocating for justice, and driving the movement for reparations with renewed vigor and strategic precision.
Executive Director of Amani Africa Media and Research Services pointed out that significant challenge to the reparations movement is the ongoing inequality both within and between nations. He stressed that the theme of the today's AU Summit is crucial not just for Africans and people of African descent, but for all humanity. He explained that the theme aims to bridge the gap between the realities faced by Africans and people of African descent and the promises of the international human rights system, which affirms equal dignity for all human beings.
One of the profound challenges of this moment is inequality. Inequality within nations, inequality between nations. And one of the most pervasive axes of inequality is race and racism. And it's really important to remember that this theme is about trying to bridge the divide between the reality of Africans and people of African descent and the promise of the international human rights system.
Executive Director of Trust Africa added that the issue transcends correcting past wrongs as many of these injustices persist today. He underscored the need to end the ongoing looting of resources, including cultural and natural assets. The agenda isn't solely about addressing past wrongs, it's also about transforming the present and building a just future.
The wrongs and the damages have not stopped, right? They are still being done to a number of people, and Africa is one continent where people are suffering from those damages still. So therefore, it is about, stopping the damages, stopping the bleeding, stopping the looting, which is why we have this Stop the Bleeding campaign, and stopping the looting of resources, including cultural resources that have been taken out of the continent and natural resources.
Finally, the Council reiterated that the reparations should be comprehensive, incorporating financial restitution, cultural restoration, environmental accountability, and other forms of redress.